Hey, look at me making and uploading videos and that's something I haven't done in at least a couple of days. I don't know, I've been playing Hi-Fi Rush ever since it came out, as you can probably tell by the background footage of this video. It's a really good game. Unfortunately, you know, it's an Xbox game, so it doesn't count as a real game, because PlayStation fanboys, you know, they always say shit like, you know, Xbox has no games, so whenever Xbox does actually release a game, it doesn't count for some reason. It's really dumb, I don't get it either. But they're just really pissed off about the fact that Forspoken, which is a PlayStation game, or not really, but like PlayStation console exclusive, came out on, I believe, the 24th, and then on the 25th, Hi-Fi Rush shadow dropped, and everybody was shitting on Forspoken, and everybody was praising the new Xbox game, which they just wouldn't have it. Also, I would like to show you a clip that from a video I made like 2 weeks ago. And in hindsight, it's a pretty funny clip. Let's have a look at it. And I can see Forspoken being incredibly big. I think Forspoken is probably going to be like Horizon Forbidden West, where it's going to come out, be completely overshadowed by another game, and then nobody will talk about it for the rest of the year. I am convinced that is what's going to happen to that game. And that is exactly what happened. Forspoken comes out, everybody on Twitter is kind of talking about how they don't really like the game. You know, PlayStation fanboys are trying to damage control. One day later, Hi-Fi Rush shadow drops. It is still trending on Twitter now, 5 days later. And everybody loves it. People are talking about it more than Forspoken. The only people I still see talking about Forspoken are, again, PlayStation fanboys trying to damage control. So yeah, I just wanted to take a little bit of credit. I was right. Literally 1 day later, Forspoken was overshadowed by an Xbox game. Let's go, guys. But of course, we are here to look at some salty PlayStation fanboy tweets, because these guys are very upset that Xbox has a game that's actually really good and popular. So yeah, let's get into it.
If you're playing Hi-Fi Rush right now, you're bored as hell. Hi-Fi Rush ain't it. I love the art style, but the game is boring and uninteresting.
I mean, sure, that's your opinion. If you prefer to play third-person walking simulators with, you know, cinematic cutscenes over new games with new creative gameplay styles that have never been done before, that's fine by me. I don't care. It's just kind of weird that, you know, this is coming from the fan base that play the same game over and over and over again, just repackaged. Like, they're shitting on a game that's actually like new and creative and innovative, but whatever.
Xbox fans caught review bombing Forspoken and giving all Xbox games like Hi-Fi Rush 10s. Meanwhile, Forspoken has over 7% completion rate, and Hi-Fi doesn't even have 1% despite being a much shorter game. Very sad state of affairs.
Now, this is simply not true. Even when the tweet came out, it was not true. The game on normal difficulty, not on easy or hard, but on normal difficulty on the Xbox, so not on PC Game Pass or Steam, it has a 3% completion rate, which doesn't sound like a lot, but neither does 7% for Forspoken. It's kind of difficult to, I guess, narrow down the actual completion rate of this game, especially since it's split up in easy mode completion, normal mode, hard mode, and then spread across like 3 platforms. But hey, fuck all that, right? If I can make a little jab at Xbox with a stupid tweet that isn't even factually correct, I should do so, cause fuck Xbox. How dare they overshadow Forspoken, the best looking game of all time.
Phil think he's slick shadow dropping old games.
Not like a picture of Jet Set Radio Future. Tell me you've never played Jet Set Radio without telling me you've never played Jet Set Radio. Like, honestly, what's the same, like, what's similar between Jet Set Radio and Hi-Fi Rush? Like, they both have, like, I guess, a cartoony, cel-shaded art style, but they're still very different art styles. They're just, I guess, somewhat similar, and they both have really good music. That's about it, I guess. One of them is about roller skating and spray painting, like in gang wars. It's very weird. Very weird to explain Jet Set Radio, by the way. It's like gang warfare on rollerblades. And the other one's like a rhythm-based action game. How are they at all the same? And even if they were, why does it matter? Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox, the original Xbox, the picture you have right there, I'm pretty sure that's the last Jet Set Radio to come out. Maybe there was like a mobile game, like with Crazy Taxi. But honestly, even if Hi-Fi Rush was like a spiritual successor, a game very similar to Jet Set Radio. Why would I care? Why would anybody care? It's been a while since the last Jet Set Radio game, and the world could use more games like Jet Set Radio is all I'm saying.
HiFi Rush has been in development since 2017, 4 years before the Bethesda buyout. PS5 or PS4 version of the game may have been part of the original plan. See more.
I hate these kind of fanboys that pretend they're just reporting the news. I'm just reporting the news, guys. Okay, well then why is your news always so heavily biased towards PlayStation? And why do you always shit on Xbox whenever you're not reporting the news? Like, who cares that there may have been a PS4 or PS5 version of the game planned at some point? I'm sure Xbox versions of games like Deathloop were planned before that was, purchased by Sony to be exclusive on their console. But I'm sure that when, Sony does it, it's completely fine, and it's actually an entirely different situation, guys. It's not all the same. You can't compare it.
Power and teraflops don't matter anymore, eh?
Why do they do this? Do they just think everybody's too stupid to notice that they just took a very blurry, low-res picture or screenshot of the game instead of like an actual proper screenshot? I've seen them do this shit as well, like where they compare an Xbox game versus a PlayStation game, and then they take like some random blurry low-res image of the Xbox game and they compare it to like an image from official PlayStation marketing of like a cinematic cutscene. It's ridiculous. Like the lengths these people will go to try and convince people their delusions are right is insane.
Well, Forspoken came out the day before. It's a much longer game. It's $70 and everybody hates it. But yet more people have beat it over a free, much shorter game that everybody loves, allegedly.
First of all, I just want to say games on Game Pass and other services like that are not free because you pay money for the fucking service, okay? Second of all, I don't understand why suddenly all these PlayStation fanboys are so obsessed with this completion rate thing. Because who really cares, you know what I mean? Well, it shows how many people actually, are completing the game and how good it is. No, it's nothing to do with that. There are a lot of factors that can go into how high a completion score is. First of all, more people probably bought Forspoken over HiFi Rush because Forspoken is a game that has been consistently advertised for like 2 years now, right? HiFi Rush is a game that shadow dropped, nobody knew it existed, and it shadow dropped 5 days ago. So obviously less people bought it or are playing it, and on top of that, people on PC and Game Pass often have a lot more other games to be playing. I know PlayStation only gets like 1 or 2 big exclusives a year, but Xbox Game Pass has over 500 games in it, I believe, and most people who have had a PC for longer than a year have a library of more than 100 games. That doesn't mean people aren't playing or don't intend to complete HiFi Rush, it just means that they also want to play different games. Like, I swear to God, give the game some time, and it will have a higher completion rate than Forspoken. I've done predictions like this before. I've been right. I'm gonna be right again, okay? Give the game like a week, 2 weeks. It's gonna have a higher completion rate than Forspoken.
You can't be serious. This is why Xbox will always be shit. Yo, accept anything, LMAO. You got a 2019 PC game you're not playing, 2 games unreleased, GoldenEye, an N64 game from 26 years ago, and a double C indie. And this is a flex.
First of all, the fact that GoldenEye is 26 years old and people are still calling it the greatest first-person shooter of all time should tell you something about the game. Also, oh no, Xbox is advertising upcoming games on their home menu. What a crime, what a weird thing to do. Nobody else ever advertises their games. And I have never heard of Double C before. I've heard of Double A, but I don't know what Double C is. And no, HiFi Rush definitely is not an indie game. I know a lot of people say that. I don't know why. Maybe because it's cartoony, but it's made by a AAA studio. It was published by Bethesda. It's not an indie game. Indie games are things like Undertale, which are made by like one guy in his bedroom, not made by like a studio full of professionals who have a budget of a couple of million. That's not what indie games are. Anyway, boys, I think I'm gonna call it here. This is the end of today's video. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.